Hey everyone, Chris Gambit here for the Photographer.com, and I'm here to teach you another tutorial. So if you've been a reader of Photographer for a while, you'll know that I typically like to set my white balance on images to either 5500 daylight or something like 3200 Kelvin, which is tungsten film. And I like doing that because it gives me an easier point to start at when it comes to editing portraits. But one of the critiques that I've had of this that a lot of people don't kind of like is sometimes in certain lights, you're not going to get those warm skin tones that you really like. And I'm here to kind of show you a situation where that happened. So I'm going to go into my recent Nikon 28mm f1.4 review. So when I go through these images, you're going to see that there were times where that didn't really work out so well, but it could have worked out better. So, for example, let's go to one of these photos. Let's go to this one. Okay, so I'm going to completely reset this. And immediately what you kind of see is there is less green over there, and then his skin, Irwin's skin over here, there's warmth, it's kind of cool, and then there's some weird kind of purple over here. And I'm not a major fan of purple skin tones, but it happens in light like this, when it's very diffused, or when, I want to say this is almost blue hour, or something like that. Daylight white balance sometimes just won't work for a lot of people. They'll want to go warmer, something like, let's say, 67 or 6803, and that gives you warmer skin tones, but then it kind of just neutralizes the rest of the scene, and it's kind of useless. So I don't really like doing that. Let me show you what 3200 will look like, though. So this is 3200. It's going to be very blue. Yeah, not really a fan of that either. So let me go back to 5500 daylight. Okay, so this is totally reset, and the image is semi-sorta neutralized. So in Capture One, and this also works in Lightroom, just to let you guys know, I just happen to work in Capture One because I like the way that it approaches editing. I'm going to go into color correction, and I'm going to say, let's see what extra shadow looks like. Extra shadow is okay. Let's see what portrait looks like. Portrait is okay. Let's see, let me give you guys just a linear response. So that's what we get, and I'm going to raise the exposure up, and now we have kind of like a workable image. But let me go to auto. Alright, so in that case then I can go and I can set this to 0. So now we have an image, and now we go back to the area where there's sort of the problem, which is he's not really standing out that much from the image because the entire white balance typically works to white balance an entire scene, not individual parts of a scene. So how do we work with that? I'm going to go into the color editor, and you can do this in Lightroom as well too with the HSL area in Lightroom. So I'm going to say view selected color. And I want you to keep this in mind. Purple, or Roy G. Biv, I guess it's violet in that case, is being rendered on Irwin's skin, his nails, and some areas in the photo. So we're going to look at that. I'm going to take you through each of these colors, and we're going to see where the colors are. So violet is there. Purple is his shirt, even though it's actually more blue. But it's being rendered as purple, so let's keep that in mind. Blue is really throughout the scene. That's supposed to be green, but we'll see what happens. Green is these little lights over there. Orange is a little bit of his skin, and red, I believe, is going to be a lot of his skin. Okay, so let's kind of figure this out. Let's see what happens when I adjust the hues. So when you adjust the hue, you take a color channel and you kind of have it skew more to one area or another. So if I do this, it goes more purplish, and if I do this, it goes more green. He doesn't have green undertones, and he doesn't have green skin, so I'm going to go a little warmer. Let's see what happens there. And now this area, let's see what happens. So he's gonna get either this is right now very green. This is less so green. I do like that. So we're gonna go with that. The green is not on him at all right now. It's only in the background. So let's edit that. Let's see what that looks like. So by saturating the other channels that don't affect him, I'm actually finding a way to make him stand out more. And you're going to see that in the end. So there's blue. And let's see what happens when I go towards the cooler way. It's kind of weird. And this way, it's more blue, obviously. So let's leave that slightly towards the left. Purple. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go this way, and now it's kind of more neutralized, and this way it's very purple. I want it more neutralized. And now we have the purple, and this is one of the bigger parts, because he does not have purple skin tones, and he didn't have purple actually on him at all. So if I go this way, it's sort of neutralizing it, but if I go this way, then see what's happening? That's a closer skin tone. Or at least let's go this way. No skin tone is this color. This, however, in the grand scheme of things, is closer to a skin tone. So now, when I choose this, he is pretty nice and warm. And he is standing out quite a bit more from the rest of the background. So what'll happen if I adjust the lightness? Okay, so see how that's becoming even lighter and brighter. If I do this, he's becoming even lighter again. And if I do this, yeah, it's actually starting to blend in with the rest of the area now. Now, let's see what'll happen if I do this. Okay, it's kind of neutralizing the background a bit more. If I desaturate the rest of the area, oh cool, look at that. So right now, it's very saturated, and right now, it's less so saturated. So the effect of the twilight is not really that strong right now. But we can do this as well, and I can kind of nerf the lightness, and let's see what happens there. And cool. So now we get him kind of standing out more due to his tonality. Some people may call this skin tone priority, and Canon cameras kind of do it in general. It's well known throughout the industry that Canon actually does a good job with skin tones. The Sony a7R II and the Fujifilm GFX have really otherwise just been the only other cameras that I know, besides other medium format, that actually do a good job with skin tones. So if I add more contrast, I don't really like that, no. But if I add less contrast, then we're using the color to kind of actually just give the scene natural contrast. It's kind of synonymous to, say, putting something that's very bright and punchy against a white background or a black background, and that color being able to stand out a lot more from the rest of the scene. So this is my edit, and this is the original. See how different it is? I'm going to publish this on Photographer as well too, so you'll be able to see it. But that's really about it. Hope this was helpful, and take care. Thanks.